Hello. Welcome back to our Rule the Waves 3 playthrough of Italy, starting in 1890, Mare Nostrum. In the last episode, we had some more battles. I think we had one more little chance at peace, and negotiators just couldn't figure it out. It's just proving to be tougher and tougher to get anyone to actually look at peace. Our battle cruisers are finished and ready to go. Looks like they are all uh, at least in fair quality. Most of them are good quality now. We did start construction of a new set of cruisers called the Umbria class, and we're actually going to build a few more of those. A couple more, maybe let's do three more of those. We do need to spend the money that we have because once the war ends, our budget's going to plummet. So make a, oops, let's make a backup of the game just in case something happens. And we are at 9 unrest, so here we go. See what kind of events we get. Cruiser action. Well, you know what? We're not as afraid of these as we used to be. Although, if we just bring light cruisers, that is a problem. Never mind. I thought we'd finally get to use our battle cruisers. Well, at least we're not too far from home. We can run away as necessary. Unknown ship sighted. Well, if nothing else, we will get to gamble. And by gamble, I mean launch some torpedoes in the general direction of what might be battle cruisers and hope for some hits. I think those are battle cruisers right there. So we're gonna figure out which way. We're gonna wait for them to like maneuver in a particular direction, maybe. Nope, we're just gonna launch. Okay, like Champlain class. And we're gonna go right down the line, and we're gonna spread these out quite a bit. And like that, get a good spread. And then we're gonna repeat. And we're gonna mix up our order here a little bit. And that's all of our torpedoes. So now we retreat. We'll do the same thing with our light cruisers here in just a minute. And they turned. Of course they did. They always turn. They have a crystal ball on their ship that tells them when we launch torpedoes. And we hit a mine with a stupid destroyer. Well, maybe he'll get into port. Nope, he sunk. Well, not a space auspicious. Not a very great beginning for us. Why they got mines right outside our port? The heck's going on here? All right, well, we're getting some submarines at least. And I did do a little bit of research. Um, all nations get access. Oh, cool. Northern Europe, they sank a battleship, a pre-dreadnought, still blockaded. But I did a little bit of research, and all nations get access to oil basically, starting in 1920. So it's still going to be a while. So what we might end up doing is once these Umbrias are finished, we can start on our battleship. I held off on it last time because I thought, Oil technology might be just around the corner, but it's still going to be a little while. It's still another 2 whole years. And when the time comes, when we get access to oil, we'll just refit. Like that's not a big deal. We'll probably have to refit the battleships anyway at some point to. Although we'd be refitting them almost immediately after we finish them, but we'll see. But, all right. Oh, that's good. Can we outlast the U.S.? We've had several warnings. It's time to end the war. A compromise peace. Oh, yes. Yay. Oh, okay. The war is over. The war is over. We are in a massive budget deficit, but that's okay because we're going to get rid of these Lepantos. Farewell. Scrap them. It's only a temporary measure. There we go. That helps a little bit. The Palestros. Um, once this Stromboli here is repaired, the Strombolis are going to go over to Foreign Station, and the Palestros are getting retired. The old Zephyro class destroyers, you are getting scrapped. We just finished up some Ibis class corvettes. So these old corvettes from 1900, scrap them. And then check out our ships under construction. We still have a bunch of stuff they're working on, but we'll let our treasury drain, our funding drain a little bit here. Ah, look at that unrest back down to a 4. That is a beautiful sight. You know what? We held our own. We held our own. I was starting to get a little bit worried because we had a lot of messages about unrest. But then again, we won some battles there, and it made our unrest tick back down. So maybe that kind of reset things a little bit. So we have 20 of these finished with another 4 on the way. We needed 19. Gives us a little bit of a buffer. Okay. Palestros, farewell to you. These Strombolis are going over to Foreign Station. And the Lombardias, I know it's a little bit early to do this because we're still a year out before any of the Umbrias are finished, but we should not have another war like this quick. So we are going to retire all of our light cruisers. Scrap them all. We have to be ruthless. We don't have room. Just don't have room in our current navy. And we need to reorganize our navy a little bit here. Hmm. So we need to assign these destroyers over to the first division. Assign these to the second. Again, we're making divisions that have 4 destroyers in them each. This covers up the losses we took. There we go. And there we go. We have 2 extras, so we'll just throw them into the 6th division. So we did have some attrition during that war. If we take a look at what we lost, um, We lost two battleships in that war. We lost heavy cruiser. We lost a bunch of heavy cruisers. And then we lost a few, actually quite a few, oh, a lot of light cruisers too. But some of these are, a couple of these are losses, like these ones up here and these two, these are losses in the last war with Austria. And then we lost quite a few destroyers too. But you know what? I want to say we inflicted quite a bit of damage in return. Like we sank one of their brand new Arizona class battleships, like for the United States. And then France, we actually devastated France in this war. In fact, if we look at France now, we're bigger than them. They're the second smallest fleet in the world now. But they'll rebuild with modern ships. Like everything they're going to have from now on is going to be pretty much brand new. Oil's been discovered in northern Russia. Wish they discover it in like southern Italy. Let's build railroads for long-term prosperity. Always a good investment that goes directly into your resource thingamabobber. So like your base resources will increase. I think it's like 200 or 300 points by doing that, and that's like a permanent bonus. And then it's that's um, then your budget is derived off of like your whenever you raise or lower your naval budget itself. Like it's like a modifier, and it like times it like multiplies it by whatever based off your base resources. But we're going to move these heavy cruisers over to the 6th Cruiser Division because they're now on foreign stations. So we're just getting them out of the way. All right, and then look at that. Monthly balance is back down to a pretty reasonable number. New torpedo bombers. Here we go. These will go on our light aircraft carrier that we're working on. What do we got? Let's go for this one here. Even though the maneuverability is one lower, it just has a little bit better range, which might make all the difference. All right, let's take a look at what's going on in the world. Not a whole lot. We're still trying to spy on the Brits. We're spying on the U.S. and Germany. We're hoping for actually let's start spying on France too while we're at it. We're just hoping to like steal some technologies. That's really the main goal there. And since it's going to be like a little while before we build any new battleships, let's increase our dock size. Yeah, we're lagging behind again in dock size. If we're going to build brand new battleships, 9 additional destroyers, we get yeah, we're gonna give them actually, you know what, we'll design a new class of destroyers since I think we've had some new technologies. Let's take a look here. Naval guns, or general. Let's see here. Light forces, 1,500-ton destroyers. We have 1,100 tons that are in service. Check our doctrines, see if there's anything we missed during the war. No, we're good. All right, then in that case, we will design some new destroyers. We just need to build 9 of them. So it put it at 1,200 tons. If we go to normal engine priority and raise the tonnage up to 1,300, it puts us at 32 speed, which is good. 4-inch guns, it's okay. But most importantly, we have the increased depth charge storage. We're going to remove one of the guns, so we'll delete the turret, and getting rid of ammo doesn't actually help that much. So what if we we'll go remove couple of the mines. It leaves us at 8 mines with increased depth charge storage, puts us at 6 ASW value, and they're not that expensive to build. 4,000 over the course of 14 months, so 301 per month. And it gives us 32 knots. Um, yeah, two triple launchers. That'll do. Ardente? That's not too bad. We'll call it that. All right. Funny, we finished all these destroyers during the war, and now we're going to be replacing them pretty quickly. Well, we might hang on to the Dardos for a little while. We can move them up to like other divisions or something, but we'll see. And they're worth 5 ASW. Some of them worth 6. That one's 6. Okay. Continue on. We have finished our light carrier. Go to the build screen. We need 9 of these things. Off you go. We need to go to Fleet Organization and get a new carrier division. CV. So it'll be carrier division 5 because we have 4 battle divisions. There we go. And another one, we'll do carrier division 6. And carrier division 7. Carrier division 8. And then cruiser division, we will assign them to division roles. So they are a screen. So this is division 5, so it goes to carrier division 5. Same thing for cruiser division 6. So screen for carrier division 6. And do the same thing with 7 and 8. Okay, we're getting there. There we go. And then destroyers, we have to do the same thing. So they will be support for 5. And then destroyers, where are you at? There you are. Set division role. Support for division 6 for carriers. Destroyer 7, same deal. Support for 7. And then eight. Or save the game after that little reorganization. And now we go to ships in service and we grab that light carrier. There it is. And we're just going to throw it into like division 8. It doesn't matter. We're not doing much with it anyhow. But we do need to assign air groups now. So we will auto add aircraft. Nope, don't want to do that. We're going to disband that one. We'll add an air unit. Oh, the torpedo bombers aren't done yet. That explains it. Okay. No problem. We'll just wait for the torpedo bombers to finish, and then we'll finish out that air group. Let's see. Britain's offering to sell us the DD Renard, built in 1901, 500 tons. Nah, too small. 500 tons. Nope. So this is the German battle cruiser Prince Adalbert. 37,000 tons, 28 knots, nine 16-inch guns. That is a beast. So whatever we build needs to be able to take on something like that. I don't anticipate fighting Germany, but it needs to be a contemporary of that. And we're going to be a little bit slower, of course. Let's see. Let's just say don't bother me with this for 5 years. Japan's wanting to buy fleet tactics concentration firing for. They are an ally, so we will sell that to them. Plus, it gets us it gets us about 75% of a month worth of money because we are running at a deficit right now. We're going to be at a deficit for a little while, probably the next year, which means, well, actually, no, we have stuff that's finishing up here in 8 months. It's going to be close, but we'll see. So Germany and Austria are no longer pals. We're going to get prestige and tension because we're not going to be limited by restrictions. All right. Japan really chipped in. So did Spain. Japan and Spain really chipped in and like helped us out quite a bit there. Well, tensions rise because people don't like us spying. Can't say I blame them. Get inclined belt. That'll be good on the. Actually, we're doing all or nothing armor on the battleships, so it doesn't really matter. Now we have the torpedo bombers. The U.S. Has halted construction of a couple of dreadnoughts due to financial difficulties. Wow. What's the USA got going on over here? They're building 4 battleships and 2 battle cruisers at the moment. They're rebuilding some ships. Uh, they got an Ohio class, a Wyoming class, Mon- Montana class. So yeah, they got a lot going on right now. And then they got an Alaska and a Lexington. They have a lot of ship classes. I personally don't like having tons of ship classes. I prefer having like just a few. All right. Now we will auto add aircraft. There we go. Some torpedo bombers. And we will auto add aircraft, I guess. That's not actually all that helpful. But we can expand that air base. And I'd like to put torpedo bombers on these air bases, actually. That would be pretty cool. Back our ally unconditionally. Get some tension, get some budget going. And one of our allies in the Balkans is being threatened. I need to check out Austria because our tensions are getting high with Austria again. But they're gonna go back down again because of the war having just ended. But let's see what Austria's got going on. Not a whole lot actually. I wouldn't mind going into a war with Austria. Do not mind. Check out the research. Let's put uh, shipboard aircraft operation on high. And naval, naval aviation heavier than air. We're going to go for high on that too. And then maybe we'll leave some of these things on high for now. But we're hoping for some uh, carrier advances. There we go. Increased Here's the Revenge. This is an illustrious class dreadnought. Nothing too special about it. We want to get to the purpose-built aircraft carrier so we can build a couple of lights and get rid of that converted one. Princess Royal class, 36,000. This is essentially, it's even faster. It's 31 knots. I was going to say it's like that German one, the Prince Adalbert or whatever it was, but it's got 15-inch guns instead of 16, but it's 31 freaking knots, man. That's crazy. It's outrageous. We need to steal some technology from people. Just take what isn't ours. We will denounce Britain, hoping to get some budget. So we are currently at 278,000. Didn't get any, but did get a little attention. We're looking for someone to get into the yellow so that our budget won't go down again, but we'll see. We have a lot of projects that are finishing up here soon. We need some money. Okay. Well, the Umbria class is supposed to be going 29 knots. It's going to be going 28. Improved directors. That's pretty good. Okay. Alrighty. Well, we're going to have some slower than we wanted light cruisers. 28 instead of 29. But at least they're getting finished up. Alrighty, let's go. Hopefully get a budget event here momentarily. All right. Well, we evened out at around 30,000 or so on the funding, which isn't too bad. We're at 38,000 on our dock size. We still have a bunch of stuff that's building. I'm going to check our the Ardente class. Yeah, we'll take another one. We're building 9, so that gives us 10, and we'll build 2 more to give us 12, which means 3 groups of 4. It is without a doubt Austria-Hungary. That gives us double budget? No, just single. One budget, one tension. Here's a potential privately built torpedo bomber. So it has the same speed as the one in service. The range is way worse. So we'll say no. Russia's commissioning battleships left and right. Save. So let's build. We have 10 destroyers. So again, we're going to go for 2 more. Let's check our submarines. Everything that's below 70 is going to get scrapped. And let's design our, actually we're almost at 1920. So let's wait until 1920 and then we'll go. But until then we can work on some submarines. 18 months. 18 months to build. Shoot. April, May, okay. So about 8 months, so it'll be 10 months into, okay. So how can we spend this money? We can, how can we spend this money until then? Just trying to think of something we can build in like 8 months, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head. We could rebuild the Napolis with the better fire director. So we get the improved director now. Although I want to rebuild them with oil engine. Okay, hang on. We're just gonna. Oh my gosh. Okay. What can we do? The Umbrias. What if I rebuild them with the better director? Improved director. They're still just single 6-inch guns. Doesn't That's not the point of these things. I'm being very indecisive right now. I'm sorry. We're gonna build 4 more destroyers. This is double tension with Austria-Hungary. Do they have any allies? They do not. But the tension will probably come back down again anyway because of the recent war. Nice. This is working out really well. If we can keep this kind of budget, we might be able to build like 3 battleships at a time. So we'll let our funding even go up a little bit here. Uh, we're going to keep this knowledge to ourselves. The U.S. was not a very nice opponent. They were not nice people to us, and we don't want our funding to go too high anyway. 7 destroyers. Here's the Alaska under reconstruction. 1% savings on hull. 17-inch guns. We're not going to use those yet, if ever. And then July we need. Oh my gosh, we need 6 more months. So we're gonna have a lot of funding here. All right, we'll go one more turn. Okay, we lost our friendship with Spain and Japan. Denounce France. Try to get money. 320,000. No, we didn't get any. Okay. All right. We are half an hour in. We are in August of 1919, which means in the next episode, we should start construction, or at least the design, of some new battleships. So, I will see you then.